So, let me find it. You're not recording it, are you?
Yeah.
Thanks.
Oh, that's fine.
Well, no, I just like, you know how I have them all together? All of a sudden, oh, there they are. I was like, seriously? I don't understand. Okay, so this one is 2. This one is 3. Is that one 4?
Yeah, here's
4. Just the way I printed them, they flipped the wrong way. So, okay. So standard 4 was the teacher understands the central concepts, tools of inquiry, structures of discipline. He or she teaches and creates learning experiences that make the discipline exact. Okay. How does the teacher understand? Representation and explanations. I guess I'm not understanding this one. Well, I mean, I am. So it's more discipline. Is that what I'm understanding? Content knowledge. Creating learning experiences that make the discipline accessible and meaningful for students to assure mastery of the content. So when they're saying discipline, I don't know if I would use discipline. What, I mean,
Why does that not look familiar to me?
is that not the right one?
It is. I just don't know why I didn't. Yeah, that word discipline sticks out at me.
I guess maybe discipline sticks out at me because it's saying content knowledge here, and discipline here, but we're doing more of the content, aren't we? Like what you're teaching. So maybe they're thinking the discipline is more like the actual content,
Maybe.
because it says the concepts, the tools, the structure, and how you're teaching. So it says candidate uses limited number of representations and or explains to teach content standard. No, and actually you had them get both books, didn't you? Didn't they use their blue book and then you guys went through?
I had them get out their blue book, and then I remembered I didn't think it was in there since I had these ones. Is the story in their blue books?
No, Okay.
Yeah, so I had them put those ones back, and I said, "Oh, I'm sorry, we're supposed to be reading these ones."
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And then you used the story, and then you used the whiteboards, and you had different ways to help them explain or to help them understand what they had read. Okay, now I get it. Sometimes it's like the verbiage is confusing because like I haven't used the word discipline since probably when I was in college. I would have said how I'm teaching it or something. Okay, so we'll give you 3 there. So So you did link their prior knowledge to bears because you were talking about, because I heard you say what colors are bears, because doesn't that one just talk about how, like what a bear is, right?
Yeah, it talks about 3 different bears. So I asked them before what they knew about bears.
So kind of like a whatever that KWL thing. Okay, so we'll give you 3 there. And I'm going to give you a 4 here because the instructional resources, you had the blue book, you had that book, you had everything that you needed, and you utilized it to do your plan. Okay. And I noticed when you had said, well, it's okay if you don't spell the words correctly. We're just looking to see if you understand, which I remember hearing you do that, especially with Riley and Tony. And you did, so I'm going to give you a 4 here too, believe it or not, because you were really good. Being that they're more of a challenging group, but they were very on task with you, and when they did have a misconcept, you were able to redirect them really quickly. Okay.
Now this one with technology, I don't know what's a way that I would be able to use technology with a story.
You actually, I have an iPad. You could have, we could have incorporated an iPad. You could have showed them a clip on how bears are in the nature. You could have done different things like that. So given that, that's a hard one because like we say, technology doesn't always fit into here, but those are things that you could have done, I guess maybe I need to be better at looking at the technology
Well-
part as well, and maybe we can talk about how to incorporate the technology into it.
Yeah, because I knew, like, sometimes you will show videos up there, but I didn't know, like, with a small group, what the easiest way is without, like, distracting others.
Wait,
but it'd
okay,
have to
just
be-
so you know, I sometimes use my phone too
Okay.
for like YouTube videos and stuff, because it's small enough that it's just like the small group. Or
Mhm.
I have an iPad. You're always more than welcome to use the iPad that's connected to the district. It's Wi-Fi,
Mm-hmm.
and you can pull up things like that as well in
Okay.
small group. Because I've done that before. Like, there's one story where it talks about Pike's Market
Mhm.
in Seattle. I
Mm-hmm.
don't know if you've ever been there. It's this really cool market that they have, and I was telling the kids that it's really cool because they toss the fish to you and you catch it.
Mm-hmm.
And so the book showed it, so I was able to make that connection for the kids to show them. And I'd actually been there before, so I was like, here, this is what it's like, so you
Mhm.
can
Oh, okay.
always tie things like that. And a lot of times that helps because you're building background knowledge that they may not already have. So,
Okay.
so this one, so I don't even know how to grade that one. Do you know what I'm saying? Because I would
don't know.
probably give you developing, because we've talked about things
Yeah, that I
in
can
ways that
do.
you can do.
Mm-hmm.
So
Okay.
does that make sense?
Yeah,
So
it does.
now that maybe when you're doing a small group, if you're reading over it and go, well, maybe there's a video clip that might explain it better.
Mm-hmm.
So like other things, like when I started reading the book about the dog, the
Mhm.
blind dog, I took the kids outside and found visuals, because on all of our classrooms they have the Braille numbers underneath of it.
Mm-hmm.
So I took them outside so they could feel it. So giving them even those kind of experiences
Okay.
it's not necessarily technology, but it's building a background
Mhm.
knowledge for them.
Okay.
Okay. And you did do the academic language. And they did use the language when they were writing, but not mastery.
Mhm.
So I would give you a 3 there too. So overall, from what I saw with that group, they responded to you very, very well, which was
Mhm.
good. How do you feel it went?
I feel like it went pretty well. They actually understood more than I actually thought they were going to, just
Mhm.
because of the group that I had. But especially like Riley and Tony, they're paying attention really well. They actually remembered, like, as soon as we read. It wasn't after every page. They could tell me something they remembered after, like, the 3rd page. They could go back and tell me what we read at the beginning.
And you noticed a difference with them versus whole group instruction versus small group instruction too.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that's one of my big things is I notice, like, when I am in the small group like that with them, they're more focused, and I can get them to be more focused. But when they're here, I kind of get lost doing things that they don't think I'll catch, like Tony today. So little things like that. So
Yeah.
okay, I felt like it went good.
Mhm.
I see definitely from the first time you did small group to this time that you did small group, I'm seeing a lot of progression. Like you're understanding a little bit more, which is
Mhm.
how teaching goes. We don't always understand right away. So okay,
Perfect.
works
Thanks.
for me.